Hello and welcome to the 2025 Sun Conference Flag Football Media Day. Suncast covering the Sun Conference is excited to host the inaugural Sun Flag Football Media Day. I'm your host, Reagan Harrell. We now welcome all my alma mater, Weber International University, their head coach, Jeff Melesky, and quarterback, Sam Wilson. Coach, Sam, how y'all both doing today? Of
Very good. Thanks for having us.
course,
Very.
Coach, you're one of the coaches that have been here since the beginning with Sun Conference flag football and NAI flag football. I've had you on the podcast before, but excited to talk about how flag football has grown since then and since you took over. But my first question to you is just tell us about Sam, senior quarterback for you, what she means to your program on the field, and what she means as a leader off the field for Weber flag football.
Yeah, so Sam's going into her fourth season. She's a pretty special quarterback. Last year she eclipsed 11,000 yards for her career in passing. So she's going to leave here as one of the greatest quarterbacks to play this game. And you can see the white in my beard. That's what she means off the field there. So, but yeah, Sam's a good leader. She's still, believe it or not, she's still learning the quarterback position, and she's gotten exponentially better, especially at reading defenses than she did last year. Just looking at some of the video and then looking to see what she's doing in practice this year. I'm excited to see what she's going to do this year for this program as a leader, as a quarterback. I think she has the potential to be the best quarterback in the country. And she knows she's got some stuff to work on, and you're going to ask her that probably here in a little bit. And I'm gonna hold my comments on that to see if she thinks it's the same as she thinks. So, but yeah, Sam's important to us, and we're gonna go as far as Sam leads us this year.
Well, Sam, you head again to your senior year. Take us back to where it all started. How did you start playing flag football when you know quarterback was a position that you'd want to be? And how did it lead you to Coach Jeff Melesky in Weber International?
I started playing tackle football with the boys in middle school, so that automatically I already loved the game. So then when I got into high school, I initially wanted to be a receiver. So quarterback was never in my books. Um, but I was kind of just thrown in and then played on varsity like my sophomore year, and then Jeff reached out and it was a pretty good distance from home, I guess. But then yeah, he was not nice, but he really wanted me. I'm just kidding.
No, I did. I wanted Sam from day one. From when I saw her, I knew she's a strong quarterback. She's got one of the strongest arms in the country. Heck, when she goes in the weight room, it's embarrassing for me to watch her lift weights. And she's like, "Coach, you want to get in on this?" I'm like, "Oh, absolutely not. No, thank you." But yeah, she's strong, and I knew from day one when I saw her play that we needed her at Weber, and ever since she stepped foot on campus, we haven't really looked back. Haven't really had another quarterback on the roster, so Sam's it.
Yeah, Coach, you built your program there really around Sam on the offensive side of the ball as we head into year five of Sun Conference and Weber flag football. Could you just tell us what you're looking to see from your team in your fifth season, and then just go into what this process has been like being one of the few head coaches that started with their team when flag football started at the NAIA level and still with your program now heading into 2025. Just talk to us about the process and what you're looking to see in year five.
So this year is going to be interesting for us. We don't have the numbers we've had in the past. I think we're going to end up with about 14 people on the roster when it's all said and done. And as we know, that 14 is not a lot. You put seven on both sides of the ball, and 14. We've got to make sure that we're taking care of ourselves in the weight room, at the training table, just keeping ourselves healthy, because we're going to count a lot on our starters, and they're going to play both sides of the ball. We're going to probably slow some things down on offense, something we haven't done in the past. We've usually run a no huddle offense, and we're going to slow some things down so we can take care of ourselves. We're gonna have some days off during the week just to rest our bodies. But I'm excited for this program because the people that we have slotted into the starting positions are some special players. And with this one at quarterback, finding those special players, we could do some damage. As far as the whole Sun Conference and being here since the beginning, I think there's three of us in the country that have been with their program since day one. One of them is Coach Brzenko down at St. Thomas. He's been there since day one, and the other one is Coach Sowers over at Ottawa. And we know what Ottawa's done the last 4 years, and they've won it all for 4 years. So it's exciting to be one of the pioneers and one of the starters of everything. And I'm just trying to make sure this sport grows leaps and bounds, and just be a good ambassador for the sport. And hopefully, we're gonna make some noise this year with small numbers. But you know what? It's when it comes down to it, it's about catching footballs and about pulling flags, and whoever does that the best is gonna come out on top.
Absolutely. Sam, Coach, as I already mentioned, you've put up quite a great career, and he wants to be a great ambassador, which he has been a great ambassador for the sport. So have you as a student athlete. You've got to do it in the premier flag football conference in the Sun Conference. How fun has it been competing in the Sun Conference for the last few years, now heading into your fourth year?
It was very fun. I'd say it was one of my best experiences. You meet a lot of people, and what is there, like 6 to 8 teams in the Sun Conference, and through just that, you get to know a lot of people. You're playing the same people multiple times a year, so you get to know them. They're great people, and then the people you play with, you love them, and then they're producing on the field, and then we're friends outside. So I really liked it.
Well, speaking about the young ladies you've gotten to play with, talk to us about how excited you are to get on the field, and what kind of energies this bring this team out of Babson Park bring into the 2025 season.
I think we're gonna do pretty well this year. Like you said, our starting seven is pretty locked down on both sides of the ball, and the athleticism they have, route running, catching, getting up the field, moving their hips. They're As long as I can get it to them, we're gonna produce.
Well, Coach, talk to us about this team coming in. Let's just start on the offensive side of the ball. Some returners and some newcomers on the offense. Fans of Weber flag football should be excited for this year.
Yeah. So when we look at last year's team, we lost I would say two starters. We lost a center, but we have Bria Cam who's coming back, who was a starter. She started as well. We lost Sammy Gonzalez, who's a big part of that running back position, but we have Emma Balaco, who's been with the team for 3 years, and she played running back the year before. And she's going to step in and play that running back position. We've got a new player who's a soccer player named Chloe Price, who's also going to step in. She's super fast. She's going to step in at that running back position. And then our right side receivers, I don't know that you'll find a better two receivers. We've got Caitlin Sigmunde, who's going into her third year on the outside, and I don't know how many superlatives I can say about Riley Bolzer. I mean, this is a kid that came off the volleyball court and soccer field last year, never even knew what a football was. And this young lady's still learning, and all she's done since she stepped foot on our field is get better every single day. She's playing in the off season when she goes home to Texas. She's doing everything possible, and she loves this game. And it's funny because she gets frustrated sometimes at practice. Sam and I just laugh at her because we'll tell her to do something. And she's like, I think that's what I'm doing. I don't know. But the girl was one of the when we get to nationals last year, she ended up making the all-national team as a first-year player. Cheyenne Duran, who was locked down on defense as a corner. She's gonna get back onto the offensive side of things where she was at the start of last year in that slot position. And we've got a freshman named Ziana Shingles. We call her Z, who is a special player. If you remember Breasia Robinson from a couple years ago, she's a faster, taller Breasia and has great hands on the outside. So we're gonna look for her. She's still learning our system. And like I said, she's tall, so her 5 and out turns into a 7 and out. So we've got to calm her down on some of those things, but she's gonna be really good. But yeah, we're really looking forward to what we're gonna bring and looking forward to get this thing started.
Yeah, Coach, how about on the defensive side of the ball? What's the philosophy on the defense going to be?
Defensive side of the ball has always been our thing, right? I think, but this year I think this is where we're going to struggle a little bit. The game's easy. We talk about it all the time. You got to pull flags. You got to make. Got to catch the ball. Caitlin's going to anchor that defense at the safety position where she's been solid for 3 years. Well, this is her third year. She's been solid for 2 years. Riley Bolzer has really found her spot at the linebacker position and the second rusher. I mean, just having that 6 foot frame there in the middle of the field is pretty solid. We talked already about Cheyenne Duran on one of the corners. She's a lockdown corner. We don't ever have to worry about her side of the field. We're replacing Sammy Gonzalez at that other linebacker position with that freshman Ziana Shingles that I talked about. And if she's anything like Breasia was a couple years ago, other teams are going to be in trouble with those two linebackers in the middle. Chloe Price and Emma Balaco are going to alternate the rushing position along with Nikki Oyola Martinez. And Emily Cruz is another soccer player that's come in. She's probably gonna take over that cornerback position. And then there's a couple basketball players that will come in. IG Edwards and McNeil is her last name. Ashari McNeil will come in and probably contribute to once basketball season's over for us.
Love it. So I got a good group. Of course, like you said, the defense is what you've been known for, but perhaps the offense will be playing a little bit bigger role, maybe a little bit new look Weber team in that sense. Of course, I'll start with the quarterback position. Sam, what aspects of your game do you feel like have grown the most in your time in Babson Park, and what's one or two things you've been really focusing on heading into your senior season?
I think my footwork is where I just like broke away. In high school, I had a running back that just moved her any which way. Like she could have been on the sideline. I did not have to take one step. I was strictly stationary. With this, I can move up in the pocket. Like I've learned how to move up in the pocket. I've learned how to move around the rush, the block. So in that aspect, that's also what I've been working on in
Mm.
the off season. I play travel ball, so fives, sevens, eights, and co-ed. So I'll have a 20-something-year-old man running at me trying to pull my flag. Yeah, I kind of got to move my feet, and I have gotten better with that, and that's gonna show out this year.
Yeah.
I'm going to add to that. The one thing I've seen her grow exponentially this year from last year is just getting rid of the ball at the right time and reading the defense a lot better than what she's done in the past. I mean, she'll tell you, and I make fun of her all the time. I mean, she threw almost as many interceptions last year as she did touchdowns, and we got to get out of that, right? So,
Yeah.
and that comes with her moving her feet and moving the pocket around and getting good reads and putting the ball in the right spot. Like we work on that every single day of practice, and I don't know how many times I'll tell her, well, that's a good spot. That's a good spot. That's a good spot. And she's reading that. And we have a practice today and we do it every Tuesday. And I don't want to give away any secrets, but we've got about 10 of the boys football team, men's football team that show up every Tuesday. The same guys show up every Tuesday and they play scout for us. And it's and we've gotten to where we've told them, listen, I need you to do stuff that we're going to see because they put a quarterback out there that rolls right and then throws it 80 yards down the field to the left. I mean, we're not going to see that. But once they've realized that what they're doing is going to help us out. I mean, I'm calling them our X factor, and I think it's really going to be beneficial to us to have those guys out there like we do, and be able to work against tougher competition.
Coach, I don't know if I still got it. May have to send Jackson or Van Fleet out there, but if you want somebody to come work punts, I might be able to get some short ones off to you.
You know what? You know what's great is Jackson's out there with us, right?
Oh
I
yeah.
think Jackson's one of the 10 that comes out with us to play
Okay.
on
Awesome.
Tuesdays, and Bria, our punter, she was all over the place last year, and she knows this. And then we've done some punting this year, and her punting is pretty good.
Yeah.
Now, ideally, I don't want to punt at
I was
all.
gonna say we're not
Yeah,
gonna
right.
punch.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
Sam
the
goes, we're
best.
not punting. We're not punting, but yeah, if we do have to punt, and I'm sure we will at some point. I mean, I don't want to sound like that, but Yeah, I mean, but we're playing tough competition. I mean, just look at the Sun Conference, and there's I'm not taking anything away from Ottawa. They're four-time champions, and Kansas Wesleyan, who's doing well. But man, when you look at um, Kennedy Foster at Kaiser, you look at Ashley Clam at Kaiser. They're having to replace a quarterback down there, so they're gonna have a little bit of maybe some growing pains. I don't know. They're still going to be pretty good. Across the lake here, Coach Mims and the Royals over there are going to be really, really good. They've got one of the best players in the country, if not the best, in Anapat Vincenzini. Coach Brzenko has done some great things down there at St. Thomas. He's got probably one of the best centers in the country with Leah Cruz. And then Coach Palmer up at Thomas has just, I mean, she just keeps going, right? It's Janae Scott and she's got three quarterbacks that are pretty good up there. So we're just looking forward to getting the season started and looking what Sam can do and what our team can do, and looking forward to the competition we face day in and day out in the Sun Conference.
Coach, talk to us about flag football and the Sun Conference, just flag football in general, as someone that's been in the conference, been coaching since the beginning of it. Talk to us about some aspects that the average Sun Conference or the average flag football fan just may not understand.
Well, the one big thing is everybody's eligible, right? So you don't have any line, there's no contact, there's no contact blocking, but everybody is eligible to throw the ball, is eligible to catch the ball. So we use the center a lot and on a lot of our routes. It's unknown. I mean, people don't cover the center very often, but we use the center. The other thing about one of the aspects of the game that's fun is pitching the ball. We pitch the ball a lot, uh, and it gets exciting.
Yeah.
And there's not really a lot of man-to-man defense. It's more zone oriented defensively. Um, but that the state of Florida has had flag football at the high school level for 25 years,
Mhm.
which I know a lot of people don't realize. I mean, Polk County here just got it 2 years ago. But the rest of the state has had it for a long time, and we're getting more and more states adding it. There's California's adding it, Chicago area, Illinois is adding it, um, Ohio is adding it. I think Virginia's adding it. Georgia's had it now for 3 years. Alabama has it. Arizona has it. So the more we get, it's real easy for us here in Florida because we have 275 teams that play it. So it's easy for us to find girls to play. Um, but now that the rest of the country is waking up to this incredible sport that we have, and in 2028 it's going to be in the Olympics. So
Right.
I mean, it's going to be fun, and I would tell everybody, and we still have people around here at Weber too that still don't understand and understand what kind of athletes they are. A lot of people, when they don't know flag football, they think of it as powder puff. Everyone had powder puff in their high school.
Right.
And when they come out to see us play, I mean, it's just fun to watch their face and say, "Oh, okay, this is what this is." I mean, we had a strength coach a couple years ago, Coach Hassan Craig, who come out and he's like, "All right, there we go, we got this." And then, I mean, some of the football coaches have volunteered to come out and help us. You've done you're part of the broadcast and you've seen the way we
Oh,
play this game, and it's a fun game. I mean, it's fast, it's fun, and when when I hear people go, "Oh, I played powder puff." Oh, did you? Okay, great. You know what I mean?
yeah.
That's fine. Hope you had fun, but we're going here,
Yeah,
and
I've told a couple coaches throughout the media day. Yeah, when I first started broadcast, obviously with baseball and everything, then that same semester I got there. I was like, flag football, sure, I'll get up there and try it. I know football, it's the same thing. I mean, I figure it out. I got there about halftime. I took the headset off and I looked at our SID at the time. I was like, I'm gonna need to do a little more preparation before I this
yeah,
game.
it's different if you want to, and every coach that comes into this, and I try to tell them when they ask me what's the biggest advice you would give me for coaching women's flag football. I go, don't treat it like men's football.
No,
Don't do it because it's different. It's completely different. You're gonna have some concepts that are the same, but if you want to treat it like men's football, you're gonna quickly understand that that ain't gonna work. But yeah, our girls are tough. They move around. They I mean it's a lot of fun to watch. It's a lot of fun to coach.
Well, just stepping off the football field quickly, Sam, talk to us about what you're studying at Weber and what your plans are for after graduation.
So I'm studying occupational therapy assistant. I'm going to be graduating in the first cohort. I'm also the first college graduate in my family, like immediate family. So that's really cool. I'm very excited to walk. And then in the summer, I'll start field work, eventually get my license and start practicing and work in pediatrics. So I'm really excited for that.
Well, Sam, congratulations. I mean, that is just an incredible, incredible accomplishment. You should be very, very proud of that coach. I know you're very proud of her.
Yeah, it's great to see her juggle the the student and the athlete part. I mean, we don't have her on Thursdays I practice because she has to do her clinicals, and we understand that we got to give and take there. But she's done a good job of balancing the classroom and the field, and yeah, she's gonna be special.
Well, I have one last question for both of you. Sam, I'll ask it to you first. You've had time to prepare for this in your 3 years, heading into year four as a Sun Conference flag football player. But whether if it's just a quick little trip to the Circle K before you go play one, or you got to make a big trip north or south to either Thomas or one of the Miami schools. Sam, what are we getting at from the gas station before one of these road trips and before one of these big Sun Conference games?
Um, Definitely a body armor. I love the purple, the Kobe ones. Those,
Yes, the strawberry grape. I'm
yeah,
very familiar. Very good.
yes,
Snack.
very.
Do we get any snack, or we just rocking with some hydration electrolytes?
I I'm on a new fitness phase, so I'm probably gonna get a protein bar. They're low calorie, high in protein. That's really all I need.
Love it, Coach. What about you, man? What are we rocking with?
Um, Travel days are not my favorite. And they'll tell you this. I get a little antsy sometimes. I get a little grumpy. But I'm a big old Red Bull. Big old Red Bull, maybe a Kit Kat, but definitely Red Bull is necessary for me on every travel trip. So, but yeah, and then I try to tune everything out on the bus ride and not yell at them too much because I mean every morning on game day I'm throwing up somewhere. Well, so it's just something that I do and because it's nerves. I mean, once you get game day, there's nothing more I can do. I'm
Yeah,
not out there on the field making things happen. So, yeah, I'm definitely a Red Bull kind of person on game day and any kind of travel day. Um, and then just making sure that I'm in the right headspace to compete against that other guy across the way.
I love it. Well, Coach Sam, as always, go Warriors. I'm excited for another year of Weber flag football. Get y'all back to the final site, get to Mercedes-Benz, and bring a red banner back to Babson Park.
Yeah, that's the ultimate goal, right? We appreciate that. And Reagan, just to let you know here on this, I'm proud of you because I saw you where you started too, and now you're doing all this. And good job to you, buddy. Appreciate you.
I appreciate it. I always started in Babson Park, still in Babson Park. Coach, I'll get out there and work with you punters at some point during the season if you want to have me out there.
Bring it anytime you want to. Come on out.
Awesome, man. Well, y'all have a great rest of your day. Go Warriors.
All right, thanks, man. Go.